Welcome to Engaging Recapped. Rocky Balboa's previous adversary Ivan Drago, Dolph Lundgren, awakens his son Victor Florian Montigny to begin preparing. They later go to a bout where Victor contends with another man. With his huge size and strength, Victor overwhelms and takes out his rival. Watching them from the group is an advertiser named Mate Marcel Russell Hornsby. In the meantime, in the US, in the long time since he really established himself, Adonis, Donnie Creed, Michael B. Jordan, has figured out how to score 7 successes straight subsequent to losing of course to Pretty Ricky Conlan. He is set to go facing Danny Stuntman Wheeler, Andre Ward, for a title match. Donnie has a couple of words with Rocky who advises him that he wants to battle for him, and that's it. He is additionally visited by his sweetheart Bianca Tessa Thompson not long before the match. Donnie ventures into the ring and battles Wheeler, whom he overcomes, acquiring the cheers of thousands of fans, as well as the WBC World Heavyweight title. After the match, Donnie approaches Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, with a wedding ring that he needs to provide for Bianca, however isn't exactly certain what to say. He asks Rocky what he told Adrian when he proposed, and Rocky says it was something moronic, yet it was his approach to saying how much he adored and needed her. He advises Donnie to allow his hair communicate everything. That evening, Donnie attempts to propose to Bianca after she escapes the shower, and he communicates his feelings towards her, yet her hearing aid wasn't working properly, so she heard nothing and simply sees Donnie on one knee with the ring. Bianca is surprised at first and doesn't know what to think, yet after Donnie guarantees her how much she means to him, she acknowledges his proposal. Rocky visits Adrian's grave to converse with her. He makes reference to the fact that he has not communicated with their son Robert since he left Philadelphia quite a while back and hasn't even met his grandson yet. The Dragos show up in Philly with Mate backing them. Ivan visits Rocky's cafe to confront his foe for the first time for more than 30 years. Ivan tells Rocky exactly the amount he lost when Rocky crushed him in those days. He lost all respect from Russia and also his wife who left him and Victor, so this match is particularly personal to Ivan. In the meantime, Donnie and Bianca go out to eat and see a news report on Victor challenging Donnie for his championship title. The news outlet didn't forget to specify that Victor is the child of the one who killed Donnie's dad. During one of Bianca's shows, a stranger approaches Donnie to spur him into battling Victor. Subsequently, Donnie goes to converse with Rocky about the match. Knowing really too well the way that it finished for Apollo, his father when he battled Ivan, Rocky would rather not see history rehash the same thing. He additionally abhors that Donnie has no relevant reason for entering this battle, but outrage and scorn. He attempts to persuade Donnie to reconsider his choice to battle Victor, yet Donnie is resolute in obliging him. Rocky chooses to pass on this one and will not prepare Donnie for this battle. Donnie and Bianca, presently getting comfortable in a new condo in Los Angeles, later go to the home of Mary Ann, Phylicia Rashad, and attempt to enlighten her regarding the battle. At the point when Donnie attempts to move toward the subject, Mary Ann instinctually surmises that they came to announce that Bianca is pregnant, but they both laughed it off. Bianca then, at that point, goes to take a pregnancy test, which affirms that she is pregnant. Donnie then, at that point, goes to inform Mary Ann regarding the battle. She is clearly not excited to hear that Donnie needs to battle, yet permits him to with the condition that he doesn't include her or Apollo in his reasons for proceeding with the fight. Donnie goes to track down Tony Little Duke Evers, Wood Harris, son of the one who trained Apollo. He requests that Little Duke train him for the impending match, which Tony consents to. Before long, a match between Donnie and Victor is held. Before the match, Ivan says something about Apollo that nearly makes Donnie extremely angry. During the match, Donnie appears to be positive about himself, figuring out how to get in a couple of good headshots on Victor, yet Victor recovers rapidly and returns with strong shots of his own. Rocky watches the battle alone in his restaurant. Victor conveys a few hard punches to Donnie's ribs, in the end cracking them. He landed one more ruthless shot to the ribs which brings Donnie down to his knees, and afterward takes him out with an unlawful headshot. Victor is excluded for the headshot, while every other person watches with worry as Donnie's welding is unsure. Donnie endures the battle and some time recuperating, yet his soul is broken. Rocky attempts to visit him at the emergency clinic, however rapidly acknowledges he isn't invited, so he leaves. Before long, Bianca sees how far off Donnie is staying from everyone, particularly her. Little Duke later approaches Donnie to let him know that Victor needs a rematch since Donnie is still the reigning champion. He likewise lets him know that he can decide not to battle Victor, but rather he actually needs to pick a rival to battle soon, or probably he will relinquish the title. Donnie seems uninvolved and leaves without replying. In the meantime, Mary Ann makes an impression on Rocky, letting him know that Donnie needs him, written on the rear of her ultrasound image of the forthcoming child. Rocky makes the outing to Los Angeles and shocks Donnie at his mother's home. The two trade a couple of spikes and in the end reconcile. In Russia, the Dragos are having a celebratory supper for Victor's prosperity, which is disturbed when Ivan's ex and Victor's mom Ludmilla, Bridget Nielsen, appears with her new spouse all of a sudden. Victor is disappointed and leaves, yet Ivan follows him and mentioned that these individuals are there for them. In the end, Bianca brings forth a female child that she and Donnie named Amara. The doctors then run a test on Amara to check whether she has a similar hearing issue as her mom. Sadly, the doctor established that Amara is conceived with the same hearing plight like her mother. Outside, Rocky makes an attempt to call Robert, but then backs out of it. Not long after Amara's introduction to the world, Bianca leaves Adonis with the child for one night. The child begins crying and Donnie finds himself unfit to stop it. Out of motivation, he takes the child out on a ride that drives them to the exercise center. The child calms down and even grins at her dad when she sees him hitting the punching bag. This motivates Donnie, and he later has a serious conversation with Bianca about battling Victor once again. Bianca concurs yet causes Donnie to swear he will return to his loved ones. She then lets him know that he better win. Adonis then, at that point, meets with Little Duke and Rocky to examine subtleties and ask Rocky, assuming he'll prepare him this time. Rocky concurs and arranges Little Duke to call the WBC and make it official. Rocky chooses to take Donnie to a distant area in the desert, where each exercise center gear is comprised of unpleasant materials to revitalize his soul and make him familiar with frightful circumstances. They center a great deal around developing fortitude and close battle circumstances. Meanwhile, Ivan puts Victor through more extraordinary and cruel training sessions. The evening of the rematch comes and happens in Moscow. The Russian group clearly boo Donnie as he enters the arena, yet Rocky, Bianca, and Mary Ann are there to support him. As the match starts, Donnie rules the first round to send an unmistakable message that this battle won't resemble the past one. Notwithstanding, Victor, once more, regroups rapidly in the subsequent round and starts to lead the fight with a few body shots to Donnie's ribs and hard shots to the head. Victor wins the following several rounds and sends Donnie to the ground, however Donnie will not remain down and continues to return to his feet. In their different corners, Rocky attempts to give Donnie signs to bring Victor down, while Ivan advises Victor to simply break Donnie once more. Before long, Donnie begins to land more successful blows in that round, figuring out how to bring Victor down 2 times. At the point when Donnie might be guaranteed triumph, Ludmilla leaves with her husband. Ivan and Victor notice this, and Victor appears to simply lose the will to battle. Donnie begins laying in additional hits, until Ivan, who can never again bear to watch, taps out, in this way surrendering the battle and permitting Donnie to stay champion. Ivan goes to his child, who gets over him, figuring he will just demolish him for the misfortune, yet Ivan rather embraces Victor. In the other corner, Rocky shows respect for Adonis with a fist bump and tells him, "It's your time presently," prior to leaving. Rocky at last goes to Chicago to visit Robert, Milo Ventimiglia, and he meets Robert's son Logan, Robbie Johns. Robert acquaints Logan with his granddad and welcomes him inside. Rocky gives his son an embrace. In the last scene, Donnie goes with Bianca to visit Apollo's grave. He wipes the slate clean with his dad's name and legacy, now that he is currently molding his own. He then acquaints Amara with her granddad. Now I am going to give you the history behind this movie, Creed II. Creed II is a 2018 American sports movie coordinated by Stephen Caple Jr. from a screenplay by Joel Taylor and Sylvester Stallone. It is the spin-off of Creed 2015 and the 8th portion in the Rocky film series. It stars Michael B. Jordan, Stallone, Tessa Thompson, Wood Harris, Phylicia Rashad, Florian Munteanu, and Dolph Lundgren. In the film, under the continued tutelage of Rocky Balboa, Stallone, Adonis Creed, Jordan, goes head-to-head against Victor Drago, Munteanu, the son of Ivan Drago, Lundgren. A Creed spin-off was affirmed in January 2016, yet was postponed on the grounds that Doctor-in-Chief Ryan Coogler and Jordan confronted planning clashes because of their contribution in Black Panther 2018. Coogler was initially supplanted by Stallone, who finished the screenplay by July 2017, yet he was supplanted by Caple that December, with Coogler rather filling in as an executive producer. The remainder of the cast, including the returns of Thompson, Rashad, and Lundgren, was affirmed by March 2018. Head photography endured from March to June, basically on the location in Philadelphia. Creed 2 debuted on November 14, 2018, at the Lincoln Place in New York City and was delivered in the US by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and Warner Brothers Pictures on November 21st. The movie got commonly positive surveys from pundits, who commended the performances, especially those of Stallone, Jordan, and Lundgren, character improvement, and Capel's direction, while at the same time taking note of its consistency. It was also a commercial success, netting $214 million around the world. The spin-off, Creed 3, coordinated by Jordan in his first time at the helm, was delivered March 3, 2023. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this.